Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, the next two videos I have in line are going to be videos where we're just not going to be using all the stuff. We just want to use the basics. We want to use what we have. Christmas time and holiday times can be really expensive, even if you are trying to keep the cost down. So we are going to try and use exactly what we have just without going crazy and to create beautiful, beautiful cards. Now I have got some acetate here. I love the Hero Arts acetate because it can be die cut. It specifically says that on the packaging. It saves massive frustration for me. But today I'm not going to die cut this. We are going to create a sort of window-ish. And so I'm going to cut this down to be, it doesn't matter how big you cut it down actually, just slightly smaller than your page. Or if you really want to, exactly the same size. I think I cut it down to roughly about 3 3/4 by 4.5-ish inches, I think. And then this is pink. This is actually the Innocent Pink color from Gina Designs. And then this die here is it has little cross stitches around it. And you know what? This one was actually on the floor down by my stash. And I thought, right, if you're going to be tricky enough to fall out of your casing and I don't know where to put you, I will put you to work. So that is how I came to this. Any circle is going to do. In fact, any shape is going to do. I'm going to show you a couple of other versions of this as well. I happen to have circles. If you have a punch, you could just punch out the circles. I have some silver matte cardstock here, and I'm actually going to pop a little bit of the Sizzix double-sided adhesive on the back. This is just to make life easier for me. You absolutely don't need to do this. I will show you a little bit why I definitely chose to use the sheets. And really for this, all you need is a couple of colours that go together. Now I chose to cut out the silver just where the double-sided adhesive sheet was, because then I know where to die cut. I have the word thanks. I think this is a really old Simon Says stamp. Thanks. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter what sentiment you use. A nice, big, bold, beautiful sentiment is going to go lovely. Then I'm going to make sure I've got all the little bits out of my die. I like to put them back pretty clean. Then I have a hole punch, like a little regular single hole punch. Now this has a little capture place in there, so you can kind of empty them out. And I'm just going to go through and get a whole lot of these little dots and use them on my project. Now, by all means, you could die cut these if you have a tiny little single die, but this way was definitely much quicker, and that is the only way I decided on this size. So you could definitely die cut tiny little stars, or you could use little sequins already. That would look beautiful too. But the reason that I used the double-sided adhesive sheets was so that those little dots already had sticky covered on the back of them. Now, I should have thought about it for the pink as well, but of course I didn't. So for this one, I am going to go through and put some double-sided tape on the back of it. This is the Pink and Main tear tape. It does tear well, except for I quite like cutting it too. That leaves a nice straight edge to go on here, and it works fine both ways. I quite like the tape, and I would definitely buy it again. Then I'm going to go through, put the double-sided tape on the back of all of these. I will save you that process because it wasn't speedy, but it was relaxing, and I was just enjoying myself card making, remembering to slow down and take some breaths. It is so busy at this time of year. I do have children, and it's just a lot. So I'm definitely trying to remember to slow down and enjoy this little bit of time that I get to do card making. I'm just enjoying using what I have in my stash and sort of finding ways to keep using that. I do like purchasing things, don't get me wrong. I like purchasing things as much as the next person, and I did purchase a couple of things in the Black Friday sale. There were a couple of good freebies and things. But this channel is about using what we have. It's about finding alternatives to do the same thing. And so that's what I'm really trying to do with my card making at the moment. So then I'm going to just trim off some of the edges using my little cutter bees, but any good sharp scissors will work fine here. I'm sort of going for a heavier at the top, sprinkled at the bottom sort of look. So I definitely fast forwarded this part for you. This is sped up a whole lot because yes, I had to take the backing off each one of these little silver dots, but I didn't necessarily see a much better way of doing it. I don't like to use liquid adhesives onto acetate because I just find they take so long to dry and I need to move on with my project a bit faster than that. So I was happy with this technique. It worked out fine. Then we're going to put everything together. This sheet here is probably optional, I would say. I just think it sort of defines the center of the card a little bit better. It helps those silver dots stand out. It helps everything sort of, have a little bit of definition, I guess. So again, I just cut this to be slightly smaller than my acetate. I'm not good at measuring. I don't really like measuring when it comes to card making. I really do just often hold things up against one another or I'll guess as to roughly, I think I cut off roughly that much or roughly that much. And worst case scenario, I just, cut it a little bit more and then cut it a little bit more. And then if I cut it too small, then I just go, well, I'll cut the top layer a little bit smaller. So it doesn't matter. We can make it work. Then I have flipped this over. You can see the adhesive on the back of those larger dots there. And I'm actually going to use some foam tape and really pop this up. But I have all of these sheets of circle foam. And I would like to use these up. So I'm actually going to cut some squares out of these. So they'll have roughly 4 dots in each square. And you can just pull the whole lot off all in one. So I'm going to cut these up a little bit smaller. Some you might have to trim, but these are going to fit nicely behind those circles. I cut some of them into 2s just because they're a little bit smaller. So I peel off the backing, then I peel off all 4 of the dots, and then I just pop them behind. And that way we can have a really nice, solid sort of backing to those dots. If you need to cut it a little bit smaller, that's okay too. We make it work. I was wondering the other day, one thing here in where I live in New Zealand in the South Island, it does not feel like summer has started at all. It is cold. We have our jackets on. It is freezing. And so I am hoping that it's going to warm up soon. School is about to go out for about 6 or 7 weeks. This is our summer holiday for the schools here in New Zealand. So hopefully it will warm up a little bit sometime soon. But where are you? What is the weather like? Is it actually following the seasons that it's supposed to be? Or are we speeding ahead of where we should be? Or are we just waiting for that weather to hit? Do you have snow? It always absolutely... I realize that a lot of you at the moment are in the opposite seasons to me. So I guess you are in winter officially now. So yeah, how cold is it? Where are you? But anyhow, so this is card number 1, and this is actually gorgeous. It's always a little bit hard with filming lights to show you the reflection of the silver and things like that. But I really, really like this. Of course, I'm taking my paper roses. I think this is the All Occasions. Or the black and white, I can't remember. I own both of them, I own those 2, and I have just used them over and over and over again, and as you can see, I still have so many left over, and they just make for the perfect little sub-sentiment. So it says thanks, and then it says so very much. As I said, I give out a lot of these cards at this time of year because the holiday or Christmas is not necessarily for everyone, but this is our end of year here in New Zealand, and so often we're saying thank you so much for your year of work. Have a nice break, enjoy your time, all those good things. So I give away a lot of those cards as well as Christmas cards. Now this is option number 2. I have all of these stars. I decided to do 3 different sizes because previously in the first one I just did 1 size of dots of the circles, and that was just because that was the only die. I had no idea which set it came from and as I said, it had just fallen out. So this time I did 3 different sizes of the stars. These do have gorgeous stitching around the outside. This is the Hero Arts Nautical cardstock. It's sort of a dark navy colour, absolutely gorgeous, and I'm just again having them sprinkling from largest to smallest down the page, and I'm going to put some double-sided adhesive on the back of these. These ones are a little bit more of a funny shape. It's okay with me that it takes me a minute to put adhesive and things on the back. Again, if I had been more onto it and thinking, I probably would have used some double-sided adhesive sheets on the back, but that's okay. Now, if you were inspired by this video or any of them on my channel, we of course have our beautiful Facebook group. I'm so grateful. It is such a nice place to sort of pop in and browse, see all of the cards that you guys are making. Even if you just like to be a lurker in the background, I'm definitely okay with that too. So head along to there, and if you like, you're welcome to share the cards that you create, but you absolutely don't have to. I will leave a link to that down in the description box below, or you can just search on Facebook. The group is called Come Crafting with Natasha, and I will see you over there. That way I can sort of see them and comment on them and talk to you over there, which is lovely. Make sure to tag me if you want me to see something specifically. But back to this video. Now I have put, this is some rose gold cardstock. I think this one is from Fawn, but you guys know the story by now. I will link all of these products that I'm using in today's video. They will all be listed down below. Even if you didn't catch me saying something, or you want to have a closer look at the product, then as I said, you can have a look down below, click on the product, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. If you would like to purchase it, of course, those links are down below that you can use as well. And I am forever grateful for that. Of course, some of them are affiliate links, not all of them, but some of them are, so I am really grateful when you use that. And then this one here with the rose gold, I am actually going to use that layer as a matting layer here as well, and it will all be covered up. It looks like a little bit of a hot mess because we took our sentiment and all of our little dots, but as I said, all covered up, and we may as well make use of the things that we are using and the things that we have and make the most of them, so we get the most out of this beautiful craft. So I've got my nice white piece there, just a fraction smaller, just a hair smaller, and then this one here, I'm just going to take some of the same dots that I used for the first one, but I just sort of had to cut little corners of them to fit in. Take the release paper off and pop it down, and then this one already had a sheet of double-sided adhesive that had the scrapbook.com one on the back, so really easy just to take this off and pop it down. I'm going to pop this onto the Nautical card base as well, so I will make sure to put a little white insert in the center. I think that is just makes it really easy, so it doesn't matter who picks it up, whether they have a silver pen or anything like that to write on. If it's got the white insert, then everybody is all good. I pop my little hello sentiment on there, very, very similar to the first one, but just use whatever shape you have, whatever shapes. I mean, it might be moons. You could just use moons. It might be just little rectangles falling in different directions. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be something specific. It doesn't have to be something that you've die cut. It could be from a packet of stickers or something from the cheap and cheerful shops. You can have anything and sort of take this design, the layout, and recreate it and just have fun. Enjoy what you're doing, enjoying card making and things. Now I have got the black and white sentiment strips here, so I'm just looking for one that's going to go nicely underneath this hello. The hello was one from Paper Rose. I love a good sort of large scripty sentiment. I think it's a really good one to sort of pop on all sorts of card fronts. And this is thank you dear friend. So again, this is just for the season, for the happy seasons for us, and I will use these cards and give them out with some gifts and things. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.